This creepypasta is called Ben, A True Story. I was with two of my friends, Ben and Nick, on holiday when this all happened. We were all in an isolated part of Greece, somewhere that doesn't show up on Google Maps for some reason. We were traveling down a long stretch of road in our hired car in search of the next major city to party in. After initially planning on driving through the night, we accepted that we had lost our way and it would be getting too dark to continue. So we pulled into a gas station for directions on where we could stay. The old man handed us an old brochure of a nearby village and insisted that we go check it out, since we are just completely lost. We were left with no other option. Something different, we thought, but just how different we could never have guessed. As we took the next left turn and ventured into the headlight-lit darkness, the only form of lodging out was in remote cabins, separated far apart from each other for privacy, we guessed. The self-contained cabin had a bathroom, kitchen, queen bed, and a single bed. All that we needed for one night. Nick won the rock off for the single bed, so Ben and I would be sharing. Nick snored anyway, so I was cool with that. One feature of the cabin that unnerved me, however, was a large square curtainless window that occupied the entire area of a vacant wall. It bothered me especially now because the night had fallen and the light was on inside, so it acted as a sort of two-way mirror. Anyone wearing black could easily look through the window without being noticed. We made plans to go out that night to the village bar, to have some drinks and maybe even tell some stories, and see where the night takes us. We discussed that we leave the key under the rock by the front porch, and if we were to split up, whoever came home first would leave the door open for the others to get in. And Ben joked, "Why don't you say it louder so everyone can hear it where we hide the key?" To which Nick found a pleasure in yelling it, at the top of his lungs. Luckily, our cabin was isolated out here, and there was no one close by. I thought to myself as we drove off. It was a surprisingly fun night at the bar. We had plenty of shots of the local drink, Ozo, until the bar staff informed us that we had drunk their stocks dry. It was cheap in Greece. And the next thing I knew, it was late and the bar was closing, and we had lost Ben. I thought he must have left without us, though I don't remember him telling us that he was leaving. I was slightly concerned by him acting out of character, so we left without him, taking the car. I need to piss badly. I adjusted in my seat as the car headlights momentarily lit up the cabin. We turned into the driveway to the sound of gravel crunching under the tires and checked under the rock for the key. The key was gone. We tried the door handle and it was locked. What the fuck? We both looked at each other. Ben must have come home before us and locked us out. "Ben, open up! We need a piss!" "Hurry up, Ben!" We banged on the door. I heard a stumbling inside like someone literally crawling awkwardly on all fours out of the bed. Damn, he must be drunk. "I can't hold this piss in anymore," I said. Nick and I went to separate sides of the cabin to urinate, as Ben finally opened the door. It felt good urinating, but the feeling was harshly interrupted by what caught my attention at the large window, sending a large shiver up my spine. There was this long, thin set of handprints, only visible on the window from the mist outside. It looked longer than any human's hand, but much, much thinner. "Holy shit," I said, but quickly cleared my mind of the scary and irrational images it was creating, as it was certainly just a regular human hand that had been smeared, creating the illusion that it was longer, right? Either way, it occurred to me that someone or something might have been watching us. I hurriedly finished my business and rushed inside. We are not turning the light on, I thought, from looking in at us. I locked the front door and we went straight to the bed. Nick fell asleep instantly, snoring before his head even hit the pillow. After a few minutes of tolerating Nick's inconsistent snore, my drooping eyes felt weary, so I closed them, and as soon as they shut, I couldn't help but get the burning feeling that Ben's eyes had opened suddenly and were staring straight at me, menacingly. My body rose in temperature, and my heart beat quicker as I sensed this. It was as if Ben was holding his breath, his vision fixed on me angrily through the darkness. Sorry if we hadn't gone home with him. Jeez, why would he be so angry? After a few minutes of calming myself down from this irrational fear, I drifted off into sleep. Knock, knock, knock. Open up. You said you wouldn't lock it. Thud, thud, thud. It grew louder. Open the door. It's fucking cold out here. This was the single scariest moment in my entire life. The most paralyzing sensation swept over my entire body. It was Ben at the door. Suddenly, there was a movement in the sheets next to me. Something stirring. I got up faster than I ever have in my life and ran over to the door. Nick had awoken and came to the same horrific realization as soon as me. He was right behind me and kicking the door open and fleeing outside to the car. Not once did we ever look back. I started the car and beckoned Ben to follow, but he didn't know what had happened, still facing into the room. He turned on the light to see inside. This was a true story. It really happened. You can ask Nick if you don't believe me, but I wouldn't ask Ben. He doesn't say much anymore after the incident, and whatever question about what he saw that night, his face turns pale and expressionless, and he will immediately shut the nearest curtain.